everybody, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Ashley Lanice, and I blend spirituality with motivation so that you can get the best benefit out of it. Today's video is on a quote, and it is something that I came up with, and it is: success isn't overnight. It's every night over and over again. This is kind of like a saying based off of the quote, overnight success. You know how people talk about overnight success? Well, I want to combat that and tell you that it is very hard to just have overnight success. Of course it can happen, but sometimes overnight success can even stop you. It's like, okay, you had overnight success, but then that was your moment of glory and then it just pivoted downhill. So what I want to give you guys today is spiritual motivation and just motivation in general on how you need to see this frame of network as success being every morning, every night, every day, every hour, every minute, in every fiber of your cells. That's how you go for your dreams and for your vision. Let's get started. The first thing that I wanted to say is, in order to have this level of success, you have to fall in love with the process. The process has to be what you love most in this world. When you're going for a goal, when you feel destined to make it to the top, when you feel destined to be a part of the 1%, or if you don't even want that, if you just feel destined to be the best soccer coach there is, if you feel destined for something, irregardless of how grandiose it is, it's about the process of getting there. It's every night over and over again. So what does that mean? That means every single night you have to love the process in order to get where you want. I see a lot of people being like, oh, somebody achieved overnight success. I wish I had it that easy. A lot of people will also make excuses for why people are successful, like for why Gary Vaynerchuk is successful or Elon Musk, and they'll be like, well, their parents did this, that, and the third, and that's why they're successful. Okay, maybe you have a point, because yes, people have advantages. When people believe in you, they're going to give you opportunity. However, though, you have to acknowledge they put in the work every night over and over again. Look at people's stories rather than just seeing someone today, seeing Beyonce today, rather than just, oh wow, she's super famous. Think about how she woke up every single morning and sang and went through vocal range exercises to get her to this point. When you start to study how people were before they were somebody, when you start to study how people believed in themselves, you will come to find that they loved the process. So if you want massive success, it's about loving the process, even the failures, which I have more videos on that. If you want to check out my channel, it's linked down below. In order to achieve success, a good tip is to write out a timeline of your life. I'm going to put an example up here on the screen. I've done this, so I'll put an example of just the timeline, and then I'll put an example of a vision for the timeline for me now. The reason why I'm showing you this is because when you can think 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90 years in the future, when you can think, what will my legacy be? You can then reverse engineer what you want. The question is, where do you want to be? How will you get there? And then when you think about that, when you think about the end, like if you're writing a book, knowing the end of your book is good, because then you can reverse engineer it. And I'm an author, I'm writing a mermaid series, not sure if you knew that, but you know where you want to go, you know what you want to be known for, you feel that in your core soul and your heart, and then you see that you're here. How are you going to get there? Think of the steps. And for this thing that's up on the screen right now that I'm going to put up again, the thing is like, it's not necessarily like it's going to go that way. It's the fact that you have the vision, that you took the time, you cared enough to sit down and write this out. Because I've done this exercise plenty of times. It's about going back to the drawing board and reevaluating your idea. When you can see what you want or have a vision for it, even if it's not going to go that way, there's something in spirituality called patterning, and it's basically manifestation. It's the CIA's declassified version of manifestation. I don't know if you've ever looked into this, but I'll link down below this document on how like the CIA researched the law law of attraction and said that it does work, but you have to really use your mind to project and put the action in the law of attraction to get your manifestations to come to you. If you want to be successful, my question is, what are your standards? Because your standards will show where your life is going. My standards now are to edit a lot of videos every single day. When I first started, I could only edit one video every day. I was lucky if I could get one video done. Now I can do 17 in a day. I did 12 the other day and I stayed up all night and I got like no sleep, but my standards are that I'm going to make more content because I know I have something of value to give to you. I know this video is reaching somebody somewhere and it is amplifying them to go every single day to be successful. Check your standards. If you want to be the next big thing, what are you focusing on? Who's taking away your time? Where's your time going? Get real with yourself. Look yourself in the eyes, stand in the mirror and be like, how are we going to get there? How are we going to do this today? What are the next steps to take? When you work on success overnight every single day, what will start to happen is you shed old layers of yourself. You're a sculpture. When you first start, it's not going to be easy, but as you keep going, you chip and chip and chip away, and it's like you literally bring it into your reality. It is so crazy. And starting is the hardest. It's like if you read the book Atomic Habits, they say that like when we start something, it's not a habit. And when something is not a habit and we're trying to get it to be a habit, that is the most challenging part of habits. Once we are in the habit and once we form this habit, our brain shifts and makes it a little bit easier. So if you haven't even started, I want you to know that like it's just like running. Getting outside and taking that first step out the door is the hardest part. But once you're on your run, you're looking at the birds, you're having these transcendental thoughts, and you're happy you're out there. Another way to implement this tactic of every single night success coming to you is I want to see all of your hours. How are you spending every single hour? Because this is how I document my hours. And I will link down below the video that I have on my hour by hour, how I plan, how I goal set for each and every single day. Because if you can literally stuff every single hour with something worthwhile, with something to do towards your goal, you're going to bring that into your reality. I also would implore you to have a calendar like this, I'll put it up on the screen, on your wall somewhere. I need you to see the year. You can even get crazy with it. One time I actually printed out 5 years and put it on this wall over here. If I have a picture, I'll put it up. If I don't, then I won't. But I planned the next 5 years in advance. Now, it's crazy because I wasn't always a planner until after my car accident in 2017 where I broke my pelvic bone in 3 places and my spleen had an aneurysm on it. Then I kind of changed into this. It's not like I've always been a planner. I think a lot of people think that I have. I almost feel like an old person, like trying to talk to a kid about it because it's like people just think that's who I am. They're like, oh, I could never do that. Like, no, I was the same way. Like, it's not like I've always planned my life. And I'm trying to tell people this, and sometimes I just don't think they really get it. Like, I was not a planner. I am somebody who does love spontaneous nature. Like, I love to be taken on adventures, but when it comes to your goals, they can still be adventurous even if you plan, because plans are loose. If you don't get something done, move it to the next day. That's why I use sticky notes on my calendars, and my goals are designed in sticky notes. If I have something, I'll pop it up on the screen to show you. You just move the sticky note to the next day. That way it doesn't feel like, oh, I didn't get this done. It's like, let me just shift this. And the last thing that I wanted to say is instead of thinking that you can't do something, I want to challenge you to think that you can. What you are capable of is unfathomable. I want you to really know that. I know that I say that a lot, but it's true. And if people don't believe in you, use their disbelief in you to your advantage. Prove prove them wrong. Use that energy to fire your soul up to get things done. Go inward. Spend every single night like, I'm gonna get this. And if you're at a low place while you're watching this video, I want you to know that it's at the times that we feel the most broken that we truly transform. So you can turn this negative energy and alchemize it into positive energy to get your goals done. So if you gained anything from this video, please give it a like so more people can find it. Subscribe to my channel if you want more content like this. Thank you so much for watching this video all the way until the end, and I'll see you in the next video.